One Belt One Road initiative was launched by President Xi Jinping in 2013. So the project involved the construction of a vast network of infrastructure such as roads, railway, maritime ports and other infrastructure. So it consists of two parts involving China and also other 65 countries. So the first part is known as Silk Road Economic Belt, which connects China with Central Asia, Eastern Europe and also Western Europe. And the second part is known as the 21st Century Maritime Silk Road, which runs along China's southern coast and connects the Mediterranean, Africa, Southeast Asia and also Central Asia. Okay, so the objective of Belt and Road Initiative were mentioned in the speeches of President Xi Jinping during the 19th National Congress of the Communist Party of China. So the first objective is to improve trade and investment. Secondly, to establish free trade zones along the Silk Road. And the third objective is to improve the transportation infrastructure inside the corridors of Belt and Road Initiative. So the example of project under this initiative includes Malaysia ECRL project, Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Rail, Hambantota International Port in Sri Lanka, Aisimba Hydroelectric Power Station in Uganda, and many more. Okay, so now I am going to explain about the importance of One Belt One Road initiative to China. So it is important to China because it aims to stimulate domestic growth and is also an element of the country's economic diplomacy policy. So China is expected to boost its economic activity by connecting less developed cities such as Xinjiang with neighboring countries. Other than that, the initiative also intended to expand and diversify Chinese export markets. So there are 6 major economic corridors created that will connect industrial and energy stations via networks of rail routes, roadways, waterways, pipelines, information highways. In other words, it will have both overland and also maritime component.
I will present on the issues of One Belt One Road OBOR initiative. So there are 3 issues that will be presented, which is the allegation of China neo-imperialism agenda, the oppositions from the United States, and also the concern towards the participating countries. So for the first one, which is the allegation of China neo-imperialism agenda, the revived incarnation of dependence theory is connected to China's OBOR initiative. The argument touches on the crucial topic of whether China should depend more on the north-south or south-south in the economic ties with the developing world. According to the dependency theory, imperialism and colonialism, as well as the unjust trading practices they impose, are to blame for the underdevelopment of emerging nations. As a result, it follows that China's economic ties to emerging nations mirror the historical North-South relationship, and that the Chinese government primarily pursues resources and raw material supply strategically. So next, on the second issue, which is the opposition from the United States. China was the first confronted by the United States with its Trans-Pacific Partnership TPP, a return of an American-led containment or a reversal of China's rise is suspected in China as a result of Japan's admissions in the TPP. In the entire Asia-Pacific area, this appears to be the most potent trade bloc, China also being left out of the negotiation. Next, in June 2011, the Secretary of the State, Hillary Clinton, declared that by developing a new Silk Road initiative, the United States will continue to be interested in the Central Asia after 2014, indirectly affecting the OBOR development. Okay, so for the last issue, which is the concern towards the participating countries, because the OBOR has been offered unilaterally, many participating nations may perceive it in a geopolitical and strategic terms, despite China's insistence that it is an open program of inclusive regional cooperation. The engagement with the countries along the Belt and Road is therefore necessary in matters relating to the development of the projects and the execution strategies. The Chinese government must engage in consultations with other countries to bridge the communications gaps and clear up misunderstanding to better support OBOR, which otherwise promises to support the economic development of a significant number of nations and increase the opportunities and jobs for the people along the Belt and Road. China also has insisted that the OBOR is open for cooperative development and implementation. The reality is different because China is moving through with many of the projects independently and maintaining control over them. This might make China's operational problems worse and increase the non-economic concerns in a number of countries. Okay, I guess that's all for my part. Thank you.
Now, I will talk about the implication. The first one is sustainable economic growth. The implementation of the overall strategies are based on the idea on how the country can use their resources wisely in order to reduce the waste resources. The implementation of the idea of overall strategies are focusing the promotion of the China as the largest economic producer in Asia. However, the idea of the overall strategies are not influence the bad impact to the other countries, but they also give a lot of benefits such as develop the economic growth by combining the important key development initiative. The key initiative that includes in the overall strategies are policy coordination, facilities connectivities, trade, financial integration, and people-to-people ties. In the overall strategies, they set up 6 economic cooperation corridors. Additionally, it facilitates contact between its partners on physical, political, cultural, financial, and physiological level. China will be Central Asia leading manufacturing of commodities and its top consumer of its agricultural output and resources as a result of the overall strategies. The next implication is security threat. The implementation of the overall strategies cause problems to the security threat. This is because the idea of overall strategies combine cooperation involving many countries through the improvement of bilateral relations between the nations. The overall seeks to connect ASEAN, Europe, and Africa, since the activity contribute to economic growth and interested peace. The overall initiative significance cannot be understood. Through seaport, oil and gas pipeline and economic corridor, it links ASEAN nations like Bangladesh, Brunei, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Cambodia, Myanmar, Maldives, Nepal, India, Sudan, and Pakistan. Due to this factor, China has been developing commercial and economic ties between nations as part of overall project. Affecting China's Western security are the drug economy and religion extreme in the Central Asia, illegal immigration crime, current overseas employment and labor export from China, transnational economic crime including money laundering and telecommunication fraud.
The last point is the last point of implication about is making China one of the strongest nation. One Belt One Road, or better known as the Silk Road, is expected to leave China as the country that will dominate the world economy. The implementation of the above follows the travel record made during the time of the Zheng dynasty or Chen Ho. The implementation the above will affect China's foreign policy, which to maintain the political stability of the Communist Party, the socially political system, national security, the authority in defending the border area, national unity, and maintaining social and economic stability. This illustrates that China is serious about achieving its goal of the China dreams. According to Muhammad Azwan, in his article, the dynamism of the OBO project as well as its relevance in terms of implication on the maritime economic region is the topic of dispute as well as the impact of the influence of the system, values, and ideology from China on the host country. This will make China more dominant and will re-establish China more as the world economic superpower. In addition, China recorded economic growth through the OBOR project, which tripled in the 2020 to 2021 at to 20 trillion, according to report released by Stockholm International Peace Research. China has expanded the size of the armed forces and spent 250 million just on the military. This also that the OBOR project will encourage the China to match major powers such as the United States.
Alright, so now we move on to the Russians' perspective on the One Belt One Road initiative. Did the Russians take China's OBOR cooperation on a positive or a negative note? Surprisingly, the Russia wants this initiative to be executed and are willing to take part. For the Russian, this could be a golden opportunity to enhance the Eurasian relations and build new bridge between Europe and Asia. The OBOR initiative was seen as something profitable by the Russian and increased trade between countries evolved. However, the Russian has still maintained its veto power by enforcing a policy for the OBOR initiative, which could be seen from the three different layers of national identity. The first one is through the understanding of one's ideology and value, to which the Russians are always thought as a powerhouse of a country, but has still wanted to maintain unity with other countries that they are collaborating with. Secondly, is the how and why the creation of Russia's identity. Relations with Russia and China did not start off great because of ideological problem, but still maintained contact after the fall of Soviet Union. They did, however, sign the Treaty of Good Neighborliness and Friendly Cooperation in 2016 to acknowledge of both countries' relations. And lastly is the attachment and response from the Russian, to which they had played a big part in the initiative, as China will collaborate with the Russian for mega projects. President Vladimir Putin and President Xi Jinping has had several meetings to sign agreements for OBOR, which included economic cooperation in 2017. Now that the OBOR has over 60 countries involved, the Russians have still kept the support for the initiative despite rarely shining as before.
The OBOR initiative has made numerous ranges of opinions, especially among the United States citizens. Firstly, some researchers claim that OBOR serves as a broader foreign policy goal that would go far beyond economic gains. This means that the initiative is viewed through a perception that China has evolved its foreign policy towards a more proactive use of national influence and a more comprehensive pursuit of interests. According to Health in 2016, he connects OBOR to one of its goals of becoming a strong trading power that can actively influence the shape of the global economy, and sees China as increasingly using economic and diplomatic instruments of influence to support one another. Furthermore, China's frustration with its less representation within the Bretton Woods institution is well recognized. Thus, the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank's close connection with OBOR creates perception that it is a part of an attempt to reshape its institutional environment. However, while some voices out on deep doubts concerning OBOR's initiative, most studies are seriously considering the possibility of its transforming trade and relationships throughout the continent of Eurasia. Among the benefits gained to the US is in terms of security guarantee. The US has turned to infrastructure investment to secure peace through development in Afghanistan. The new Silk Road initiative aims to integrate Afghanistan and the surrounding regions into a global economy. In other words, the US is committed to contribute anything necessary for the Afghan state to stand on its own, and the prospect of Chinese investment has been welcomed by several American professionals. In addition, Hudson in 2015 stated that given China's own interest in regional stability, OBOR's potential to contribute into the infrastructure can be seen as a potential that would bring major benefits towards the Eurasia region, and this statement has been approved by several US officials.
So in conclusion, it can be said that One Belt One Road initiative is a very look forward initiative. So it helps all the countries under this initiative and China itself to improve their transportation, energy production as well as trade. So that's all from our group. Thank you.